So today we're talking about a Kershaw Skyline. Well, that's a Kershaw Skyline, but we're talking about this one. This is a fixed blade version of the Kershaw Skyline. This was offered to me a while back in a trade, and I was very excited to see it. I actually didn't know it existed until it was shown to me. There's a different version of this, a much cheaper version, but this one is a BladeHQ exclusive. This is the premium fixed blade with carbon fiber scales, as opposed to just G10 on the standard one, and this one's sporting CPM S30V. All right, there were 250 of these made with the black wash finish, and there's also another 250 made with a regular stone wash finish. But pretty interesting. Like I said, I got this a while back. Have been carrying it on and off, you see, neck knife style, even though it is fairly large. Ever since I opened the can of worms with carrying the cold steel spike, I'm definitely open to carrying bigger fixed blades for neck knife option. But anyway, I literally waited until I can get a hold of another Skyline so I can do a comparison in this video, because I was really curious if it was the same size. And it is. It is almost identical as far as size. So if you are one of the people out there, the many people who have had, owned, and used a Kershaw Skyline, you'd be very familiar with how this feels. My only gripe with this is the fact that the scales are slightly undersized. You can see there's actual frame sticking out. It's obviously one piece. It's a full tang knife. But this is just for aesthetics. It's like a look that some companies go for, and I don't like it. I love the knife overall. I love everything about it except this. And the reason why is because what happens when you do this, it looks kind of cool, right? You got a little bit of that, blade handle sticking out, I guess. But when you're holding it, you don't feel those scales. My thumb rests pretty much just on the spine of the knife, and although I have more meat with the scales on the side, as far as my thumb's concerned, it feels like a skeletonized knife. It's not nearly as comfortable to me as if they had the scales match up perfectly. So it's not an accident or anything. It's purposely done that way, just for its looks. I do love the carbon fiber. I think it's very cool. Your fingers do wrap around. You feel that. Overall, it's smooth. There's no jimping or texturing anywhere. The carbon fiber is pretty smooth itself. But yeah, I mean, it's everything you expect from this, only a massive steel upgrade, as well as the strength you're getting in a full tang fixed blade. All right, so I've carried and used a standard Skyline for a very long time, and now it's pretty cool to have a neck knife version of it, essentially. Now, I also thought, like, ooh, maybe this will fit in the sheath. And of course it doesn't. I'm not going to try here, but I immediately realized the fact that this is a folder. There's a pocket clip on there. It's just a little bit different, if you look at it side by side, than the folding one. So it doesn't fit in the sheath, even though it's the same size and pretty much the exact same design. But yeah, you can see there's Torx screws, large headed Torx screws for the handles. So if you wanted to pop those off for cleaning, I'm not sure what's underneath it. I have not popped it off. I don't know if it's skeletonized under there or not. I do love the carbon fiber, so I would keep them on. But yeah, it's pretty cool. The sheath is actually an awesome sheath design. All right, forms perfectly to knife. It's actually really tough to get out, and they purposely put in this little thumb ramp, which pretty much every Kydex sheath should have. You should have a nice tight fit like this. It doesn't shake. There's no way this is going to come out. It's actually really difficult if you weren't using the thumb rest, I should say. But what you do is you just get a grip on the knife and literally just push your thumb forward. Instead of trying to pull it out this way, because you're building up a lot of pressure and then you end up like popping it out hard, instead you push the sheath away. Super simple. So nice tight lockup, and just a simple push up with the thumb pops it out. So when carrying this, instead of tugging it like this, because I also use an adjustable neck lanyard, so if I tug on this, there's a possibility for this to actually tighten up, get smaller, which I don't want. I want it hanging a certain distance on my chest. But what I do is I literally just turn it sideways, because I can't really get my thumb like that. It's weird. So literally I go like this. I turn it sideways, use the thumb. Super simple. And this obviously drops back down. Use a knife when I'm done. I usually use two hands to put it back in, but it's not always necessary. Sometimes I'll fish in that tip, all right, and then I'll use my body to kind of, rest the back of it to push it back in. But yeah, it's awesome. I mean, S30V, most of you guys out there have some experience with it. It's an awesome steel. It's very nice, very high end. This has stayed sharp as long as I've had it. Only strop it up. Haven't needed to sharpen it since getting this. As far as some specs, overall length 7.3 inches. It's a 3.25 inch blade, 4.12 inches on the handle, and fairly lightweight at 2.7 ounces. All right, these sell for just at $100. All right, it's like $99 and change. And obviously it's only gonna be available at BladeHQ. The cheaper version I think is like $85, and that's sold all over the place. But you know, for 15 bucks, you get the steel upgrade. I'm not sure of the steel on the original, but I have to assume it's probably something different. And instead of G10, you get the carbon fiber. But yeah, pretty cool. 100% made in the USA. You can see a little flag on there. So if that's your bag, and that's like a necessity for knives, this one fits your bill. I usually don't care where knives are made. Like I said, if a knife is made in China and it's really good quality, awesome. If it's made in you know, Tibet and it's a good quality, awesome. Africa, Antarctica, France, I don't really care as long as it's made, you know, fairly well. I'm into it. But obviously being American, it's a nice bonus for me to see that US flag there. Pretty cool. So good job on BladeHQ in taking a classic design, seeing that they have a fixed blade and making your own version of it and upscaling those materials. Very, very cool. And for 100 bucks, I think it's totally worth it. But yeah, this is one of my newer favorite EDC neck knives, which you guys will probably see. I'll probably do an EDC update. Not sure, you know, the timing when I post these videos, but yeah, very cool. Been very, very happy with it. It is flat grounds, and it is a drop point blade, if I didn't mention that. All right, flat grind on there. Enough tip to get the job done and penetrating, but not super pointy, so it still retains quite a bit of strength. Really simple design, just a little bit of belly up front. It's not the best slicer in the world by design, but that S30V does stay nice and sharp. So yeah, overall I like it. If I could change anything, I'd make these scales fit the handle perfectly, so I'd have more of a shelf to lean my thumb on. But it's a small gripe, but you know, it is what it is. It's something I notice. Not everything I mention bad about knives is a huge deal. And to some people, they don't care at all. But you know, these are my opinions. These are things that stand out to me. That's why I mention them. So that's all. If you're a fan of the Kershaw Skyline, there's a fixed blade version, and there's a really cool fixed blade version, you know, through BladeHQ. So there you go. Get them while you can. It is limited, but I got this one on the secondary market in a trade. So they'll be out there floating around. People get really worried. But here's a quick little tip too: is don't freak out if you see a knife sell out. I've had messages like this a lot in the last year or two, where someone's interested in something, everyone's talking about it. Specifically, like these blade drops that are happening all the time, where the stuff sells out in like 5 minutes. It's crazy. Because there's a lot of hype, everyone's ready for it. The second it drops, boom, it's gone. And people send me messages like freaking out, "How did you get one? I really want one. Can I buy yours?" I'm like, no, I didn't buy one. But there's the secondary market, and most people who are buying knives eventually sell them. It's just how it is. And even those people who are greedy and don't want to ever sell them, eventually they pass away and their family members sell them. So pretty much any knife there ever was, you can find. It's just a matter of how hard it's going to be, but they're out there. So that's all. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.